Have you ever wondered why, despite all our relentless pursuits, we often feel emptier than ever? We live in a world that demands speed, competition, and immediate results. Imagine yourself in a crowded marketplace, the voices of passers-by, the shouts of vendors, the blaring horns. All of this creates a chaotic current, a force that pushes us to react faster, grab opportunities without thinking, simply to avoid being left behind. But when you finally stop for a moment, what do you realize? Are all these hurried people really happy, or are they just stuck in the same endless cycle of ambition and anxiety? Epictetus, the great Stoic philosopher, once said, "If you wish to progress, be willing to appear foolish and ignorant about external things." This advice reminds us that sometimes the wisest attitude is not to fight against life, but to take a step back, remain silent, and observe. Life constantly challenges us with noise, distractions, and fears. It makes us believe that we need to hurry, control everything, and compete relentlessly to achieve our goals. But today, I want to share something that might change the way you see yourself. Stay still. Remain silent. Everything will come to you naturally. Number 1. Patience is strength, not weakness. In a world where everyone rushes to prove their worth, the wise choose silence. Patience is not a sign of weakness, but the greatest symbol of inner strength. The truly strong do not need to show off or rush to demonstrate their value. They do not announce their actions because they know that true merit is proven through actions, not words. The greatest strategists never reveal their plans, and the most successful people do not need to flaunt their achievements. A warrior in battle does not waste his energy with provocations or waste time in useless discussions. He observes, analyzes, and at the right moment, strikes with absolute precision, without hesitation, without rushing. Silence helps us focus on ourselves rather than seeking validation from others. One of the greatest mistakes people make is the constant need for recognition and praise. But do you know what the truly strong do? They don't need it. They build self-confidence instead of allowing the world to determine their worth. When you stop worrying about what others think, you find true freedom. You become the master of your own life. When you don't reveal all your thoughts, you keep the advantage. Others can't predict your next move, and that makes you formidable. Look at the great masters of negotiation. They are not impulsive, nor do they let emotions drive them. They remain silent, listen, and observe. And at the decisive moment, they say just one sentence, enough to change the entire situation. History proves that the greatest achievements are born in silence. Have you ever heard a mountain make noise as it rises to touch the sky? Have you ever seen a river boast as it silently carves majestic canyons? Everything happens in silence, with persistence, resilience, and power. No one needs to know how many challenges you've faced. No one needs to hear about your pain or sacrifices. They may doubt you, they may not believe, but when success comes, they will have no choice but to recognize it. You don't need to speak. Your success will speak for you. The great Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "The best response to anger is silence." Often, we feel the need to react when provoked. But in reality, the strongest response is not to shout, but to remain silent. When you are silent, you control the situation and force others to reflect on their own actions. Silence is not just a strategy. It is a way of life. Let's imagine John entering a crowded cafe. He looks for a seat, but suddenly, someone approaches and deliberately pushes his chair aside, a clear provocation. John has two options: get angry, retaliate, and start an endless argument, or look directly at the provocateur, smile calmly, and then look away, completely ignoring the situation. What happens? The provocateur becomes confused. He expected a reaction, but received only silence. He feels uncomfortable, loses control. Meanwhile, John quietly enjoys his coffee. This is the power of silence. Opportunities, success, and the best things in life are already around you. But they only come to those who know how to wait for the right moment. Those who rush, try to control everything, and become impatient only waste energy without achieving results. But those who understand the natural law, that everything has its own time, are the ones who truly master life. Be silent. Observe and prepare. When the right moment comes, you will know exactly what to do. Now that you understand the power of silence, how can you use it effectively? How can you turn silence into a weapon that helps you achieve success without needing to show off? Let's explore this further. Because those who truly succeed act in silence. And one day, when the world finally notices them, they will already be at a level no one else can reach. Prepare yourself. Success is coming. But first, be silent. Number 2. Work in silence. Let success make the noise. On the journey to success, a pianist who practices alone for hours is the living proof of this philosophy. Their efforts may go unnoticed, but when the time comes to perform, their melodies echo everywhere, touching the hearts of those who listen. In the same way, success does not require a stage or an audience. It is built in the quiet moments of dedication and commitment. But how do you apply this philosophy to your life? How do you turn your goals into reality without needing to announce them? Life follows a natural flow, like a river finding its way to the sea or the sun rising at the right moment. You cannot force a flower to bloom before its season, just as you cannot command the waves to stop. So, why the rush to achieve success? If you work with diligence and patience, in silence, what you desire will come to you when it's ready. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor and Stoic philosopher, once said, "Contemplate the beauty of life. Observe the stars and see yourself running with them. The stars do not compete for brightness. They simply light up the sky at the right moment." In the same way, when you focus on your personal growth, rather than comparisons or empty competitions, you realize that success is not something to be chased. It is the inevitable result of preparation. Many people believe that not achieving their goals immediately means failure. But in reality, not succeeding at this moment is just a phase of preparation. If you receive something before you are ready to sustain it, it is not a blessing, it is a burden. Like a blacksmith shaping metal, each failure is not an end, but a strike that strengthens you. When you work in silence, no one sees the times you stumble. No one witnesses the sleepless nights. But when the right moment comes, your success will speak for itself. Think of the times you were rejected or failed. It may have been painful at the time, but now, looking back, you realize that it was actually a form of protection. Often, life tells us not to demotivate us, but to protect us from something for which we are not yet ready. A closed door does not mean the end of your path. It may just be a detour to something even better. When you work in silence, you are not only building success, you are cultivating patience and trust in the process. How many times have you thought that, by getting the dream job, the perfect love, or a large sum of money, you would finally be happy? But if you do not find peace within yourself, nothing external will bring lasting happiness. Love cannot fill an internal void, it only complements what is already whole. Money will not solve internal conflicts if you lack discipline. Success will be empty if you do not know how to enjoy it. Therefore, when you work in silence, you are not just building a career. You are developing yourself. And when you strengthen yourself from within, success ceases to be a surprise. It becomes inevitable. Success is not a singular moment. It is the result of an entire process. When you learn, train, and grow constantly, you are building a solid foundation for the future. What is yours will come to you when you are strong, wise, and disciplined enough to receive it. Look at people of great success. They do not need to boast about what they are doing. They simply focus on the work, and when success comes, it shines naturally. If you persist in silence, one day you will surprise the world. There is an interesting paradox. When you stop desperately chasing something and instead focus on becoming the best version of yourself, what you desire comes to you naturally. Think of a confident and valuable person. They do not need to beg for recognition. Their calmness and determination naturally attract the attention of others. In the same way, When you focus on your personal evolution, opportunities, success, and meaningful relationships appear effortlessly. Many people want recognition but are not willing to pay the price. They prefer to talk about their dreams instead of working on them. But the truth is, success does not come from words. It comes from silent and consistent actions, day after day. You can choose between talking about what you will do or simply doing it, and letting your results speak for you. Truly successful people do not need to shout for attention. Their deeds already say everything. Silence does not mean inaction. It means you are building something lasting. Now, I ask, are you ready to let your success speak for you instead of seeking external validation? Number 3. Trust the timing of your life. Have you ever felt that your life could have been different if you had made different decisions in the past? Have you wondered, why haven't I succeeded yet? Or why don't things happen faster for me? It's as if your life is behind on success, and you feel helpless, watching others move forward while you remain still. If this thought has crossed your mind, stop for a moment. Take a deep breath. And listen to this. Everything happens for a reason. Success is not a race of speed. It is a journey where everyone has their own pace. Not always the one who starts first arrives first. And the loudest person in the room is not always the strongest. Have you noticed how some people are always bragging about their plans, but in the end, they accomplish very little? Those who talk the most about success are often not the most confident, but the ones who need external validation to feel valuable. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "Do not waste any more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Truly strong people do not need to prove anything to anyone. They do not need to boast about their morals or achievements. They simply live according to their values and let their results speak for themselves. Success is built in silence. The great figures of history did not become legendary through grand speeches, but through years of tireless practice away from the spotlight. Michael Jordan, one of the greatest athletes of all time, did not become a legend just because of natural talent. He spent thousands of hours training alone in the gym, when no one was watching. When he was cut from his high school basketball team, he didn't complain or blame anyone. He just trained silently, day after day. When you work in silence, you are building a solid foundation for success. You don't need the attention of others to validate your worth. You only need one thing: discipline. Think of a tree. When it grows, it makes no noise. It doesn't need spectators to develop. It simply stands firm and grows stronger each day. A truly ambitious person acts the same way. A great entrepreneur doesn't need to post about their plans all the time. They just work. An excellent professional doesn't need to show off. They just refine their skills. Those who truly want success don't spend time trying to prove anything. They build something solid, and when the moment comes, success is undeniable, unwavering, and unstoppable. Many people fail not because they are less intelligent or talented, but because they lack patience. They want immediate success without going through the preparation process, seeking recognition, not real growth. They want the world to see what they are doing, but they don't really want to do the necessary work. And without perseverance, they quit before things have time to bloom. But if you trust your journey, have patience, and continue to improve your skills, success will come when you are ready. Are you prepared for success? You don't need anyone to see your effort. You don't need applause. You just need focus and persistence. Steve Jobs didn't build Apple by talking about it in every newspaper. He focused on creating incredible products. Elon Musk didn't succeed just because of catchy phrases on Twitter. He spent decades working hard. And you can do the same. If you keep learning, training, and improving every day, when the right moment comes, no one will be able to deny your opportunity. Opportunities always appear. The question is, will you be ready for them? Many people say they want success, but when the opportunity arises, they don't have the knowledge, skills, or discipline to seize it. Want success? Start preparing now. Improve your skills. Learn every day. Work hard, even when no one is watching. And one day when the right time comes, you won't need to chase success, it will find you. Do you believe that patience and silent effort lead to true success? Have you ever lived a moment when everything happened at the right time, when you were ready? Comment and share your story. Number 4. What is meant for you will always find you. Have you ever felt that intense desire for something, praying and waiting for it to happen exactly as you imagined? The question is, has this ever worked? Has it ever happened exactly as you predicted? And when it did happen, was it worse or better than you expected? Life is full of lessons, but one of the hardest to accept is that, in reality, we have very little control. This truth makes many people feel insecure. We spend so much energy worrying about everything, under the illusion that it gives us more control. But in reality, it gives us no power at all. On the contrary, life becomes lighter when we learn to let go, trust the process, and accept that what truly belongs to us will find its way to us, sooner or later. Are you ready for when opportunity comes? You can plan for the future, but you cannot control time. Opportunities may arise suddenly, even when you don't feel ready. But when that happens, the question is, will you be prepared to take advantage of them? Those who simply wait for miracles often miss opportunities because they never prepared for them. When Simon Sinek was invited to give a talk on the TED stage, he didn't know that moment would change his life. But he had been preparing for years, developing his mindset, accumulating knowledge, and honing his communication skills. If it hadn't been for this silent dedication, the opportunity would have passed without leaving any impact. Success is not the result of luck. It is the sum of preparation and opportunity. Those who only wish for results but don't dedicate time to preparation almost always fail. True success is built before the spotlight. Think of an Olympic athlete. They can't just wake up one day and decide to compete in the Olympics. Behind the shine of the medals are thousands of hours of training, countless falls, and invisible failures. But when the opportunity comes, they are ready. The Stoic Emperor Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not over external events." Realize this, and you will find true strength. True strength lies not in controlling circumstances, but in controlling oneself. What happens in the external world is unpredictable. But if you are prepared, in skills, mindset, and spirit, you will always be ready when opportunity knocks at your door. Often, we only see the moments of glory, without realizing the long journey behind them. Silent preparation is more important than the moment of shining in front of the public. A successful entrepreneur doesn't rely just on a good idea, but on years of learning, experimenting, failing, and persevering. Great achievements never come easily. Life presents challenges not to stop you, but to ensure that you are ready for what lies ahead. If you can't overcome today's difficulties, how can you take on greater responsibilities? Think of J.K. Rowling's story. Before becoming the author of the Harry Potter series, she was rejected more than 12 times by publishers. But she didn't give up. She knew that what was meant for her would eventually come. It just hadn't happened at the right time yet. When facing failure, many people think they are not good enough or that they are on the wrong path. But in reality, failure is just a step to go further. Successful people don't wait for motivation to act. They keep pushing, even when the results don't show up immediately. Nothing is worse than having an opportunity and not being prepared to seize it. That's why, always be ready. Not because you know exactly when the opportunity will arise, but because you don't want to miss it when it does. Success doesn't come from running faster than others, but from persistently following your own journey. Sometimes, you wish for everything to happen immediately, but life doesn't follow your clock. If you try to control everything, you'll end up feeling frustrated. The truth is, life's timing operates at its own pace, and what is meant for you will eventually find its way to you. It's not because you forced it, but because you were ready to receive it. Success works the same way as a tree. No one plants a tree and expects it to grow instantly. You need to plant the seed, water it, nourish it, and then wait patiently. The most important thing is to trust the process and not despair. The more you try to control everything, the more you lose your peace. Instead, be prepared, have faith, and always remember that what is meant for you will find its way to you at the right time. Don't force it, don't demand it. Just wait with confidence, knowing that your journey is unique. Number 5. Your energy attracts your reality. Nothing truly remarkable is created in an instant, just like the natural progression of a bunch of grapes or a figure. If you desire a fig, it must first blossom, then begin to bear fruit, and only then ripen into the sweet, nourishing fruit you long for. This same principle of growth and development doesn't just apply to nature, it mirrors every aspect of our lives. Success, love, peace, everything follows a sequence, a process of maturation that cannot be rushed. It's easy to feel frustrated in a world that moves at a breakneck pace, where instant gratification is often at our fingertips. We want to leap ahead, to see immediate results. However, you cannot force something to happen before its time, nor can you demand a result when you haven't laid the necessary foundation to receive it. In the digital age, where we see other success stories unfold in real time, it's natural to feel a sense of urgency and question. Why haven't I achieved what I desire yet? But what if we flipped that question? Instead of wondering why it hasn't happened, ask yourself, am I really ready to receive this? Think about the seed you plant today. It will be the tree of tomorrow. It's not enough to plant and hope it grows overnight. Just as nature takes its time to nourish a seed into a flourishing tree, you must also be patient in your own life's journey. The efforts you put in now, though they may not bring immediate rewards, are like the careful nurturing of a seed, preparing you for the bigger things yet to come. Consider the story of Jack, a young man with big dreams. He was diligent, worked hard, set lofty goals, and sought rapid success. But while his friends seemed to be effortlessly achieving milestones, buying homes, traveling the world, building careers, Jack found himself stuck in a loop of unfinished projects, uncertain and increasingly discouraged. Doubt crept into his mind as he compared his progress to that of his peers. That was when an elderly mentor shared a simple yet profound piece of wisdom. Look at this acorn. Small, unassuming, and plain. But if you plant it in the soil, water it with patience, and allow the sun to nurture its roots, it will eventually grow into a mighty oak. If you dig up the soil every day to check on its progress, you'll destroy it. Jack's mentor's words struck deep. His journey in life was much like the acorn. Not seeing immediate results did not mean he was on the wrong path. Every step he took, every challenge he faced, every moment he spent waiting for progress was all part of the larger process of growth, preparing him for the moment when he would finally bear fruit. Success is not the result of a sudden breakthrough, nor does it come overnight. Take a closer look at the world's greatest artists, entrepreneurs, and leaders. They didn't achieve greatness in a sprint. Leonardo da Vinci, one of history's most revered artists, took 4 years to paint the Mona Lisa, perfecting every detail. Steve Jobs, the visionary behind Apple, was fired from the very company he founded, only to return years later to turn it into a global tech empire. They weren't rushing to the finish line. They were committed to the process. They had patience. They understood that everything takes time, and that true success comes from dedication, persistence, and the willingness to endure through the less visible stages of growth. The same principle applies to you. Instead of feeling anxious or defeated when success doesn't arrive on your timetable, ask yourself, am I truly prepared to handle what comes next? The opportunity may be just around the corner, but only if you've laid the groundwork to receive it. In life, it's easy to want things right away, to rush toward what we think is waiting for us. But like the fig tree or the mighty oak, everything worthwhile takes time. And while others may seem to be achieving their dreams faster than you, remember that their journey is not yours. You are on your own path, and the seeds you plant today will bear fruit at the right time. Have faith in that process, and trust that when your moment arrives, you will be ready to seize it. Number 6. Prepare for your moment in life. There are moments that change everything. Moments when the door of opportunity opens, when success is within reach, when you finally achieve what you desire. But the most important thing isn't when these moments arrive, but whether you're prepared to embrace them. Patience doesn't just mean waiting. It means what you do while you wait. Sometimes, silence is the most powerful way to prepare for those moments. Plato once said, "He who does not know how to serve well will never be a good leader." Success doesn't happen instantly. It's the result of a journey of self-discipline, patience in the face of challenges, and a willingness to handle small responsibilities before taking on great achievements. Many people never achieve what they desire, not because of a lack of talent or luck, but because of impatience. They want immediate results and high positions without going through the tough days of struggle. But if someone can't handle small tasks, can they truly take on great responsibilities? If you can't control your own emotions, can you lead others? Silence and patience in the process of self-development aren't signs of weakness. On the contrary, they're the foundation on which you strengthen yourself. When you accept starting small and learn to master yourself, you're taking concrete steps toward success. And when the right moment arrives, you won't just deserve it, but you'll be able to sustain it. The story of James Buster Douglas. One of the greatest examples of silent preparation comes from boxer James Buster Douglas. Before his historic fight against Mike Tyson, the undefeated champion, no one believed Douglas had a chance. However, what many didn't know was that he had been training in silence, waiting for the right moment for his opportunity. When the fight began, Tyson dominated the early rounds, knocking Douglas down in the 8th round. Everyone thought the end was near. But Douglas didn't let it get to him. He got up and, with calm and patience, waited for the right moment. In the 10th round, he knocked Tyson out, making history by winning the world title. He didn't win by luck. He had prepared his whole life for that moment, and his perseverance through the tough moments led him to victory. If he had quit after falling, his story would have been forgotten. But instead, it was his perseverance that earned him a place in the history books. This teaches us that if you're not seeing immediate results, it doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're just in a phase of preparation, and the right moment is still to come. Many people believe silence is a sign of weakness, but in reality, silence can be a subtle form of strength. Only those who are truly confident know how to master this power. Imagine yourself in an important meeting where someone tries to attack you or pressure you to lose your calm. Most people would react immediately, trying to defend themselves, argue, or show their emotions. But you choose not to do that. You keep a steady gaze and remain silent, not because you have nothing to say, but because you know that words at that moment would be unnecessary. While you stay calm, the other person loses control, revealing their own fragility. This doesn't mean you should be silent all the time, but rather that you need to know when to speak and when to wait. Having patience in speech is a form of preparation, where you don't react impulsively but wait for the right moment to act with wisdom and make the best decision. One of the biggest mistakes people make is believing that patience means waiting without doing anything. In reality, patience is not a passive state, but rather an active action. During periods of waiting, you can use that time to prepare. You can develop self-discipline, enhance your skills, learn, and grow. If you chase after success without being properly prepared, even if you achieve it, you won't be able to sustain it for long. True success doesn't come from quick results, but from a solid foundation built with perseverance. Everything great takes time, and every evolution goes through a phase where it seems like nothing is changing. But the difference between those who achieve success and those who give up lies in the ability to have patience and keep preparing in silence, without losing focus or confidence in the process. When you learn to be patient, you don't despair when you see others moving faster. You understand that your moment will come, and when it does, you will be ready. Silence is not weakness. It is a reflection of inner strength, self-control, and emotional intelligence. Those who understand the power of silence know that not every battle needs to be fought with words, and that not every situation requires an immediate reaction. They learn to observe, to wait, and to act only when the right moment comes. This is not passivity, it is strategic proactivity. It's like a fighter conserving energy before delivering the decisive blow, or a leader carefully observing before making a crucial decision that could change the game. When you accept that great achievements take time, you don't panic when results don't show up immediately. Instead, you use that waiting time to better prepare, to develop even more, and to be ready when opportunities arise. The waiting time is a time of growth, and it is during this period that you become the person capable of seizing the big opportunities when they finally appear. Now, I'd like to know your opinion. Do you believe that patience and silence can help us naturally achieve what we desire? If this content made sense to you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next videos on Stoicism. New content will appear on your screen now. Click and continue your journey to strengthen your inner resilience. See you in the next video.